Hi guys, and welcome to session 4 in ACA 122. So I am on campus and our Wi-Fi is so-so at times. So I am just going to share my screen this time just because I'm not sure it can handle video as well. But just know that I am here and I still am a body and a live person. So just because you can't see me this week doesn't mean that I'm not here for you. So I'm going to spend a few minutes going over some items in session 4 and just walking you through some of the content. So session 4 is one of my favorite sessions in ACA. I think it's also a session that you will take with you throughout the rest of your career here at Nash and on into either the workforce or a four-year institution. But we are going to learn about learning styles this session. So maybe you've been learning the same way since you were little. So maybe when it comes time to take a test, you take down notes, you read those notes, and you hope that you remember that information. But there are actually many different ways to learn information, and many of us are not actually read and write learners. So that traditional style of note-taking and trying to memorize really doesn't work for us. So we are going to start to explore this week what type of learners we are, and then how we can take that information and sort of redefine our studying styles to better appeal to that learning style and help us retain information. So there are a couple overview items today. First of all, a brief overview of the learning styles. Definitely need to look through that so that you know what you're talking about when you start to look at what is a visual learner, an oral learner, a read-write, or a kinesthetic learner. So spend a little bit of time on that. This is probably one of my favorite, phone's ringing. One of my favorite items is this quick little video, Insight on Schooling. Just an interesting little video for you to watch there. And then just a reminder here, if you've already seen this, you don't have to look at it, at least not in depth. But it is accessing and submitting assignments via Google Doc. So just a quick option for you there if you don't remember how to do that. All right, so let's move on to our session activities. So we have another case study. This one is going to deal with our friend Tammy Coe. And just like you've done on the other ones, make sure you copy and paste the questions in there. Give lots of detail. So if you're going to say, and I'll click on these so you can kind of see what I'm talking about as it thinks. What are some things that you have in common with Tammy? Nothing is not necessarily an option. Look for something. And then identify the issues that she's having. So make sure you give detail from the lovely case study in your book. So what are the issues that she's having? Why might she be having some of those issues? What are some things that you could do to help Tammy, et cetera, et cetera. So just give a bit more detail in your journal entries than, a sentence. Just kind of a note there. And most of you are doing that very, very well, but just kind of wanted to reinforce that. Anytime you're going to pull some information from a case study or anything like that, I want to make sure that we are pulling as much information as we can. Then the majority of our session here will actually be spent down here. The only other thing that you need to do is just a quick wrap up and chapter quiz. So that shouldn't take you very long. The learning styles research is the most important, one of the most important things. Advising will certainly be a big one that you will do in here. It's one of the bigger assignments. So I'm going to show you what it is, and then we are going to talk through some different pieces. So let's pull it up, and this is going to be in a Google Doc. And my lovely computer's going to think for a minute, because like I said, the Wi-Fi is only so good here. You guys should know if you're on campus. And as it pulls up, just be reminded that sometimes what I see is students will forget a step or two, so I would actually print this out and just kind of check it off. And that way you can do a really good job of making sure that you hit all of the items. So the first thing you're going to do is complete the VARC Learning Styles Assessment and submit a screenshot of your results. So that is item number 1, and I'll tell you that's the most commonly missed portion of this. So you're just going to click on this link, and it's going to open the VARC assessment, hopefully in a new window. Here we go. And all you have to do is go through and answer questions. At the very end, it will give you a breakdown of So different scores. So just screenshot that. So here you can see at the very end, it'll tell you what you need to do. Screenshot that and then submit it in the Dropbox. So a way that you can do that is just to go into your different applications and search for the snipping tool. And then you can just use the snipping tool to cut out that particular screen, save it as a JPEG, and then you can upload it in the submission link. So make sure you do that because that's the most commonly missed part of this assignment, and it is a pretty big portion. So that's where you get that 15 points for appropriately identify as preferred learning styles, because they have to be able to see what they are. So that's step one. So the next thing that you're going to do is pick, so from your results that you'll see your top 2 learning styles. These will be the focus of your research. So it is oral, visual, read, write, or kinesthetic. And if you have a tie, select one of the 2. So then you're going to complete the learning styles organizer based on the top 2 preferred. So the learning styles organizer is going to be on the second page. So scroll down. Maybe. There we go. So you're just going to go to file and make a copy of this so that you can start to put in your information here. And then you're just going to do some research. So go into Google, go back into that BART questionnaire, and go into your book. Your book has plenty of great resources on this. So use all available resources and fill this out. So what type of learner are you? What does it mean? So I want you to define it. Why would you agree or disagree? Provide specific examples from your experience. So if you say that, yes, I agree, I'm a visual learner, why? How? How do you know that? And give particular examples. So 3 strengths you possess based upon your preferred learning style. So this is going to come out in the research. Again, put your learning style in Google, find some resources. Go into your book, find some resources. 3 weaknesses, and this is for each of your top 2. 2 characteristics, 10 study strategies. Again, go back to your book. This is a great place to find those. You're going to fill all of this out. I will tell you that this particular worksheet does take a bit of time, so make sure that you leave some time to complete this. And at the very end, you'll kind of also see the particular learning styles that your learning styles would be best suited to. The last one, if outside of ACA, 2 most challenging courses you're currently taking, then look at some ways you can incorporate what you've learned about your particular style into being successful in those courses. So for example, maybe math is your most challenging course and you are a read-write learner. So maybe taking the time to write out the problems multiple times would be a great example of how to use that learning style. If you are a kinesthetic learner and math is your sort of issue, then maybe recreating a problem in terms of physical things. So if you have to divide, add or subtract, is a very simple example, obviously. But finding ways to do that in more of a physical environment would be a great example. So like I said, this one's going to take you some time. Make sure you fill out this worksheet in its entirety, also spell check it, all that good stuff, and then also submit your VARC results. And that is the bulk of your session 4. So I really invite you to spend some time and enjoy this particular research. We're going to use it later to provide a little bit more information, but it really is one of the biggest takeaways from ACA, and so I think it's something that everybody can really learn a little bit about. So that is the end of session 4 in terms of what you need to know. And as always, if you have questions or concerns, please shoot me an email and let me know. Have a great rest of your day.